Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I happen to be watching this great video essay by a YouTuber by the name of Infranaught. Link is in the description. Basically explaining how silly that claim that people like to make about how, oh, you couldn't make Blazing Saddles today, people are too sensitive, blah, blah, blah. Which, of course, was a vapid, trite take 30 years ago when I first encountered it. And yeah, I did say 30 years ago. It's been that long. People have been saying this, and never really made sense for a variety of reasons, all of which I'm not even going to talk about because this video does a much better job of it. And basically he looks at the history of the Western and TV and cinema and its immense popularity in the 50s and 60s and how it intersected with the hilariously repressive Hays Code that all TV shows and movies had to abide by in order to not get censored. And basically explains how it's that intersection that made Blazing Saddles necessary and inevitable, and how it almost overnight single-handedly destroyed the Western as it used to be. Anyway, really cool video. Definitely recommend you checking it out. And I happened to be watching this video and heard the little strain of the theme music in the background and remembered, what a great tune that is. I love that tune. It's so perfectly fitting of the movie, but it's also just a great tune, and it's very harmonica-istic, except for one thing, and you're gonna hear me maybe struggling with it a little. We talked about how in the harmonica, the diatonic harmonica, you got 3 octaves, and only the middle octave, 4 through 7, have a full diatonic scale where you don't have to do anything special. You just, blow, draw, blow, draw, blow, draw, draw, blow to get do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Well, in the bottom octave, there is no fa and there is no la. So in order to get those notes, you gotta bend the notes by, lifting your tongue up in the back to make kind of a k sound when you inhale. I've talked about it a little bit in the past. I'm having to do that. I'm having to bend on the draw 3 note on that phrase, the end of the second and fourth phrases, where it's he wore a shining star, that ding star, that note before star, that's a bent note. And the same thing, made his blazing saddle a torch to guide the way. There is again that la do that you can't get naturally without bending. But you'll notice that I do go up an octave at the very end for the last phrase, and in that phrase there is no bending. I did that kind of to give myself a break from having to bend, also because it's cool just to go up an octave. Changing octaves on the harmonica when you can do it is a great fun thing to do. I enjoy doing it, and it also makes use of the whole instrument practically, except that we don't use the bottom 4 holes at all, except for that draw 3 and blow 4. But I kind of end it on a nice 1 chord, just blowing on holes 1 through 4. And I also did something you'll hear where I lift my tongue up a little bit in the back to kind of create less space in my mouth, which creates less resonance, and that's how I get that kind of Jew harp sound. That instrument, that twang 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 twang. You can hear me at the end, and when I'm playing that chord, it goes. Well, I'll show you. When you lift and raise and lower your tongue, you can get that sound. I'm using a Hohner Marine Band harmonica. This is the only Marine Band harmonica I own. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of these. They have this little ridge that is not fun on your lips. And it's a wood comb. I don't like wood combs so much. They're kind of porous, so I feel like I'm always using more air than I should be. That could just be me because, like I said before, I'm not really a harmonica player. I'm kind of a more of a harmonica enthusiast than an actual harmonica player. There is a YouTuber I've been watching named Indiara Sfair. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing her name terribly. Indiara Sfair. Anyway, I've got some links to her in the description too. She is an absolute monster harmonica player. I believe she was on like Spain's Got Talent or something like that. And I mean, she's just, if I could ever be a fraction of as good as she is, I'd be very happy. But she seems to like marine bands. I've seen they have this very distinct, I guess, face you'd call it, with the, you know, the Honer name and these little straight grooves in the front. I've seen videos of her where she's playing this particular configuration, so I assume she's got to be playing a special 20, or not special 20. She's playing marine bands. And I will say that the marine band gets a great tone. It's probably the best tone of any harmonica I've ever played. But to me, it's just not worth it, putting up with how difficult it is to get enough air flow, and how small the holes are also really small. And this ridge, man, I can't get used to this thing. I always feel like I'm shredding my lips up. I gotta put a lot of like chapstick on afterwards. I hate it. Anyway, but that's just me though. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm a big Lee Oskar fan. I like Lee Oskar harmonicas a lot. But you know, something to try out. This harmonica is in B flat. I actually do not know I haven't like paid attention to find out what key the original Blazing Saddles recording is in. If you care to do that, great. I might find out later and put it in the comments. I don't know. If you hear the original and you hear my recording, you might think that doesn't sound the same. Yeah, well, it might not be in the same key. I just played it in the key of B flat because that's the only marine band I own, and you know, I play this every now and then because I like to challenge myself by playing instruments that I do not like playing. That goes for guitar as well. You know, I sometimes will play guitars that I don't like playing on because I feel like if I can get the kind of results I'm trying to get from a subpar guitar, then it usually tends to translate to me sounding a lot better and playing a lot better on a guitar that I really do like to play on. So that's why I hang on to this and why I play on it every now and then, just to, you know, kind of torture myself a little bit and build my chops a little bit, I guess you could say. Anyway, you know, thanks for watching, and keep playing harmonica.